Leadership is Language by David Marquet, a retired U.S. Navy captain, builds on his previous bestseller Turn the Ship Around, where he challenged the traditional top-down leadership model. In this book, Marquet focuses on how language shapes leadership and the critical role it plays in creating an empowering environment where everyone's voice is heard. The book is designed to transform the way leaders communicate with their teams by offering a fresh approach to decision-making, collaboration, and leadership through intentional language shifts. Marquet argues that traditional leadership models often rely on outdated language patterns rooted in industrial-age thinking, which divides workers into leaders who think and followers who do. He advocates for a more adaptive and modern approach, where language encourages participation, autonomy, and collaboration, making everyone feel like a valued contributor. The book is structured around 6 key plays of leadership language that are designed to help leaders make more informed decisions and foster a high-performing, engaged workforce. 1. Control the clock, don't obey it. In this first principle, Marquet emphasizes the importance of controlling the tempo of work rather than letting external deadlines and pressures dictate decision-making. He explains that the traditional model pushes teams to act hastily and make decisions based on short-term gains rather than long-term success. Instead, leaders should slow down, ask better questions, and involve their teams in decision-making. Key points. 1. Shift from doing to thinking. In many industries, the emphasis is often on getting tasks done quickly, but this can lead to mistakes and poor decision-making. 1. Marquet advises leaders to create a rhythm where teams can pause and think critically before acting. 2. Redefine time pressure. Leaders should challenge the notion of strict deadlines and instead focus on giving their teams time to explore different solutions and weigh the consequences of their decisions. Example, a leader might ask, "What are we missing?" Or "What does success look like in the long term?" instead of saying, "We need this done immediately." By controlling the clock, you allow for thoughtful reflection and better outcomes. 2. Collaborate, don't coerce. In this play, Marquet argues that leaders should collaborate with their teams rather than coerce them into following orders. He criticizes the traditional leader-follower dynamic, where decisions are made at the top, and subordinates are expected to simply execute orders. Instead, he promotes a model of distributed decision-making where the whole team contributes to the solution. Key points. 1. Language of collaboration. Leaders should invite input and encourage team members to share their insights and ideas rather than issuing commands. 1. This leads to higher engagement and a sense of ownership. 2. Psychological safety. Creating an environment where people feel safe to speak up is crucial. 2. Leaders must encourage open communication and make it clear that everyone's voice matters. Example, instead of saying, "This is what we're going to do," a leader should ask, "What do you think is the best way forward?" This question invites the team to collaborate on the decision. 3. Commit, don't comply. Marquet highlights the importance of moving from compliance to commitment in the workplace. In a traditional setting, employees often comply with orders to avoid punishment or meet basic expectations, but this approach stifles initiative. To foster a sense of ownership and drive better performance, leaders need to encourage commitment to the mission and goals. Key points. 1. Empowering language. Instead of using language that demands compliance, "You must do this," leaders should use language that encourages commitment. "How can we achieve this together?" 2. Autonomy and accountability. Giving employees the autonomy to make decisions and the responsibility for their outcomes leads to greater commitment and engagement. Example, a team leader might say, "How can we make sure we deliver the best outcome?" instead of saying, "Just follow the procedure." This shift in language empowers the team to take ownership of the task and strive for excellence. 4. Complete the loop. Don't just do the work. Marquet introduces the idea of completing the loop by integrating feedback into the workflow. Instead of just focusing on getting the work done, leaders should create a feedback-rich environment where teams continuously learn and improve. This creates a culture of continuous improvement rather than one of simply following instructions. Key points. 1. Feedback loops. Leaders should regularly seek feedback from their teams, not just at the end of projects, but throughout the process. 1. This ensures that adjustments can be made in real time, leading to better outcomes. 2. Reflect and improve. Encouraging teams to reflect on what went well and what didn't allows them to learn from their experiences and improve future performance. Example, after a project, a leader might ask, "What did we learn from this?" Or "How can we improve next time?" instead of just moving on to the next task. This focus on learning fosters a culture of continuous improvement. 5. Improve, don't prove. Marquet emphasizes the importance of improvement over perfection. Many organizations focus on proving that they are right or that their methods work, often to the detriment of innovation and growth. Instead, leaders should foster a culture of learning and development, where the focus is on getting better, not being perfect. Key points. 1. Learning mindset. Leaders should encourage their teams to see mistakes as learning opportunities rather than failures. 1. This helps create a culture where people are more willing to take risks and innovate. 2. Continuous improvement. Instead of trying to prove that a system or process works, leaders should always look for ways to improve it. Example, a leader might say, "What can we learn from this setback?" rather than "Who's responsible for this failure?" This approach shifts the focus from blame to improvement. 6. Connect, don't conform. The final principle in the book focuses on building connections within the team rather than forcing people to conform to a rigid organizational culture. Marquet argues that when people feel connected to the mission, to each other, and to the organization's values, they are more likely to contribute their best ideas and work collaboratively. Key points. 1. Building relationships. Leaders should focus on building strong relationships within the team, encouraging trust, mutual respect, and collaboration. 2. Diverse perspectives. Rather than forcing everyone to think the same way, leaders should embrace diverse perspectives and encourage people to bring their unique viewpoints to the table. Example, instead of trying to fit everyone into the same mold, a leader might ask, "How can your unique skills and experiences contribute to our success?" This approach helps individuals feel valued and connected to the broader mission. The power of language in leadership. Throughout the book, Marquet consistently demonstrates how the language leaders use can transform their teams and organizations. By shifting from command and control language to more inclusive, collaborative, and empowering language, leaders can create environments where people thrive, take ownership, and innovate. He emphasizes the importance of moving away from the industrial age mindset of leaders giving orders and workers simply following them. Instead, leadership today should focus on creating a culture of shared decision-making, learning, and improvement. Marquet's approach is not just theoretical, it's based on his real-life experience of transforming the nuclear submarine USS Santa Fe from one of the worst-performing submarines in the fleet to one of the best, simply by changing how he communicated with his crew. His experience serves as a powerful example of how the right language can change the trajectory of an organization. Key takeaways for leaders. 1. Slow down to think, don't let external pressures force quick decisions. 1. Take the time to think and involve your team in decision-making. 2. Encourage collaboration, invite input and ideas from your team rather than issuing orders. 3. Seek commitment, not compliance. Empower your team to take ownership of their work by encouraging commitment to the goals and mission. 4. Foster continuous improvement. Use feedback loops and reflections to learn and improve, not just to complete tasks. 5. Focus on learning, not perfection. Shift the focus from proving yourself to continuously improving and learning from mistakes. 6. Build connections, focus on relationships and valuing diverse perspectives, rather than forcing conformity. Conclusion: leadership is language redefines what it means to be a leader in today's fast-paced, knowledge-driven world. David Marquet presents a compelling case for shifting away from outdated command and control leadership styles toward more inclusive, collaborative, and empowering leadership. By changing the way we use language, we can unlock the full potential of our teams, foster innovation, and build stronger, more adaptive organizations. This book offers practical strategies for leaders at all levels who want to improve their communication, build better relationships with their teams, and drive meaningful, sustainable results. Whether you are a manager, executive, or team leader, Marquet's principles provide a roadmap to more effective leadership.